All right, so the process for the solution research note cards is very similar to the problem research note cards. You'll see that I have on your bibliographies put your research note cards into one pile, and then I created your first solution research note card for you. The only thing that's really different about that format is that in the original thinking section, you have to write how what you have learned about or how what you've researched will be incorporated into your solution design. And so you're going to answer how this will be a design feature each time. When you create new ones, you don't have to like retype that entire thing every single time. You can just type like design feature and then colon and then write what it is. Remember that when you're looking for these design features, what that is the part of your solution that you will include and develop from other ideas and that already exist. So, what have you pulled from a technology that might already exist? What have you pulled from organizations or processes that already exist? And how are you going to use that in your solution? Those are your design features. It's basically just describing your solution, but you get those things from stuff that already exists. And because you're using them in new ways, that is how it is innovative. Okay, that's how it's a new thing. So here's how you would do that. All right, so we're looking for design features. I'm going to click off of that for a second. So for this, I'm going to continue using hunger in Brazil as my problem, and I'm going to pretend that my solution is to create an organization that promotes just awareness about hunger in Brazil. And so what I want to know from my solution questions sheet is this question. And that is, are there other similar organizations that exist that do similar kinds of things? And how do they do that? How does it work well? So what I'm going to simply do is Google that idea, hunger awareness organizations, Brazil. It's helpful to add the name of your country into your Google search to see if there are any local things that are similar to your idea. The more local you get to your area, the better your solution is. And we can see that there's a lot of different things, a lot of different organizations that probably have something to do with this. Oxfam International is going to be one of those. Reducing poverty overall things that would include hunger issues. But one that I looked at that I know is going to thing that can give me some good ideas for my solution is this one from a part of the World Food Program. And what I found was that there is an organization that does some things already with hunger, and there likely are lots of these in your place too. And this particular one is called the Center of Excellence Against Hunger. And so using my research skills, I skimmed through this information to see what kinds of things that they do. And I determined that there's a couple things from this first paragraph that I can use in my solution as design features. So similar to what you've been doing, you can copy and paste information from that into that note card. But the other thing you need to make sure that you do is cite that source. If you're sure you're going to use an idea from the source, you have to give it credit. So let's run through that real quick. You should be pretty fast at this by this point. But in case you're not, this is how we do it. You got to get that URL, copy, paste, date of publication. It doesn't likely have one. Usually these generalized websites don't. Sometimes I like to use the copyright year though, which is 2020 it says. So you can just use that. And the date of access is today, May 4th, 2020. Contributors, are there authors on this? Probably not, but we can double check. The top and the bottom of the article, nope, so we leave that blank. What is the webpage or document or article title? All right, so what do you think? Do you think it's the World Food Program is the article title, or is it Center of Excellence Against Hunger in Brazil? It's Center of Excellence Against Hunger in Brazil. I tried to do that like a little kid TV show. We've been watching a few of those recently. All right, the name of the website is the World Food Program. Incidentally, they're also the publisher, but you don't have to put that twice. All right. Okay, so we have our citation now. And now we can get to making the actual note card that goes with it. So let's go back to Notecards. Open up our solution research note card. Choose the source it's going to come from. And then let's go back and get our information. So I'm just going to use this first paragraph here. If you find information, you don't have to use every single part of it. Use what you need to develop your solution. Use something that gives you an idea for your solution. Let me show you how I thought about this one here. All right, so the particular information that I thought was helpful inside this description about the Center of Excellence Against Hunger is what it says about how it uses local people, local Brazilian people, to share knowledge. And it also uses local farming to work together. And this is helpful because it helps me know, it helps me learn that it's a really good idea to use local people and local resources whenever possible when you're trying to create solutions. So that's kind of the information that I want to pull out. So if I'm going to put that in my own words, I can say the Center of Excellence Against Hunger, and I can see what they do. They work with the World Food Program. It started in 2011. And then so draws on Brazilian experience to share knowledge and policy information. So they work with local Brazilians to help design solutions, also work with local farmers. All right, so how will this be a design feature? What from this information am I going to use? How am I going to incorporate this? How am I going to incorporate this in my solution design? This will be a design feature. I could say two things, really. One thing I can say is I will work with the Center of Excellence Against Hunger. Okay, and then the other design feature is that it will be important to work with local Brazilians whenever possible. Whenever possible. Okay, and there's a design feature. Now, eventually, you're going to put those design features on your PowerPoint as you are describing your solutions. And remember that 4 of these will be due by the next class. And that's it for this tutorial.